So, I've already made this video before, but I wanted to remaster this video because the last time I did a video on this matchup, I don't really feel like I gave the matchup the respect it deserves. So unlike last time, this video will be a more streamlined experience that goes over each of the characters' feats and hacks and actually managing to use a script this time instead of me just mumbling the feats and abilities into the microphone. This time, I'm going to go over the origins, feats, hacks, resistances, scaling, and weaknesses of the character, and then I will be coming to a conclusion myself. Oh, and before I forget, I will be using some of the scaling that Death Battle have used for their episodes, as well as some information from Versus Battle Wiki. I know that Versus Battle Wiki is not a reliable source, but it just makes my life a lot easier and ensures that I don't spend hours of my life researching this. So without further ado, I am proud to present Archie Knuckles vs. Juggernaut, the Who Would Win video remastered. Also, how do you guys like my new mic? I know it's going to sound a little quiet. I'm going to turn up the volume in editing, but how do you guys like it so far? I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's probably better than the last time when I was just using my iPad mic, so I'm going to stop talking now and get to the video. Knuckles the Echidna was just your average anthropomorphic echidna who was tasked with guarding the Master Emerald on the mystical Angel Island. Okay, so maybe he isn't so average. Knuckles was born as a descendant of the Brotherhood of Guardians, basically an ancient order of echidnas tasked with protecting the Master Emerald, stuff like that. But before his birth, Knuckles' father, Locke, had a dream where his son would be slain. So he decided the only logical choice of action would be to experiment on himself and his unborn child. That is one way to protect your son, I guess. Anyway, the result of this turned Knuckles into an embodiment of Chaos Energy and essentially made him a living Chaos Emerald. It also gave him some pretty nifty hand spikes. Well, at least he got something cool out of this. Like his ability to manipulate Chaos Energy to do all sorts of wacky things. Seriously, due to Knux's, let's just say, unique genetic mutation, he's actually really proficient with Chaos Energy. Because of this, Knuckles is able to do some incredible things. Due to his Echidna heritage, Knuckles is super strong and can dig super well and is very intelligent. So much so that he was doing college-level mathematics when he was just 3 years old. Using Chaos Magic, Knuckles is able to grant wishes, increase his strength at will, predict the future with clairvoyance via power rings, heal from injuries at a rapid rate, glide through the air, travel through time, manipulate Chaos Energy itself, and even possess other beings. Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. As the god of Chaos Enerjack, Knuckles was able to rip people apart molecule by molecule, steal souls, stop time itself, and erase beings from existence. He was also able to match the power of Archie's Supersonic. More on this later. Now, some of you may be asking, why I'm bringing up Enerjack? Well, Knuckles was his avatar for a while, so theoretically he should be able to do everything Enerjack can. Not only that, but Chaos Energy, whether it be blasts or more complicated techniques like Chaos Control, can affect, manipulate, and even destroy concepts that shape reality itself. We know this because when Supersonic attempted to rewrite the Super Genesis wave, he destroyed the totality of existence, including Imaginary World and Illumina, who are the embodiment of dreams, and the entire Chaos Force itself, which is the embodiment of all Chaos Energy. Oh, but we're not done yet! Knuckles has his own super form, Hyper Knuckles. In this form, he is capable of phasing through beings with his speed alone, and keeping up with Supersonic. This is where I talk about Supersonic. So, in their battle, Knuckles and Sonic both went into their super forms, and, as the comic puts it, ran at each other at incalculable speeds. Not only that, but base Sonic was able to outspeed stopped time. He outran stopped time in his base form. And he's even stronger and faster in his super forms. And since Knuckles scales to him, this means that Hyper Knuckles should be capable of the same. Not only that, but Archie's super forms have done some impressive things as well. Like that time Archie Sonic rewrote his entire multiverse. And this is a multiverse with an infinite amount of timelines, as well as extra-dimensional realms like the Chaos Force, Pocket Zones, Archie Mega Man's own infinite universe, he's here too, remember, as well as a multiverse with Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Spawn. I am not making this shit up, I swear. Not only that, though, but Super Sonic, along with Super Shadow and Super Silver, were able to harm and defeat Solaris throughout all points in time. And again, since Knuckles scales to Sonic, he should be capable of the same. The super forms also grant users resistances to corruption, mind manipulation, reality warping, magic, conceptual manipulation, matter manipulation, and many, many more resistances. But guess what? This isn't even Knuckles' final form. Due to the experiments he underwent when he was an egg, Knux had one final form up his sleeves, even though he doesn't wear a shirt. Chaos Knuckles. Despite losing the invulnerability of Hyper Knuckles, he gains a massive boost of power, able to easily beat a clone of Turbo Tails. And Turbo Tails has been stated by both Merlin Prower and Arthair, pretty sure I pronounced that right, to possess greater strength than Hyper Knuckles or Super Sonic. So yeah, Chaos Knuckles is pretty busted. Despite all of this, Knuckles still has some weaknesses. For starters, his super form can only last so long. It can last for a long time, sure, at max from day until night when Super Sonic fought Enerjack, meaning that the super form would have to last for like 12 hours at best. And while he is intelligent, he's also brash and relentless. If he pushes himself too hard, he could overexert himself. Knuckles also has trouble accessing the full extent of his powers, and sometimes he even has difficulty controlling them. He did gain control at one point, but then he lost them again, and then he got them back and lost control all over again. Regardless, Knuckles is still a formidable warrior. And once you piss him off or steal his precious Master Emerald, there will be chaos.
Oh, an ambush, huh? Your funeral.
Cain Marco was just your average, everyday human with a dead mom. What, do you expect me to make a joke there? That's his origin. He has a dead mom. After his mom died, however, he suffered from a life of physical and psychological abuse at the hands of his father, Kurt Marco. Man, what is it with these red comic book characters having bad dads? Kurt would eventually remarry a woman named Sharon, who just so happened to be the mother of Professor X. Yay! So now, with a new stepmom and a new brother, you'd figure that Cain would have a normal life now. But you'd also be dead wrong. Cain grew to despise Charles, as his dad genuinely preferred him to his own son. This jealousy eventually grew more and more until it consumed Cain entirely, and after his father died in a house fire due to smoke inhalation, Cain and Charles joined the military, whereupon they found a cave containing a temple of Sidorak, a powerful being of mystic might. It was here where Cain found his ultimate weapon, the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. And also, upon touching this jewel, it turned Cain Marco into the unstoppable Juggernaut. As Juggernaut, Cain is a force to be reckoned with. He has superhuman strength, speed, an insane healing factor that allows him to regenerate from being reduced to a skeleton, and what is probably his most useful attribute, infinite stamina, and his insane durability thanks to a near impenetrable force field he has around him. With a clap of his hands, he can create earthquakes over magnitude 8. He can throw tanks around with ease, and even hold up a collapsing skyscraper. He's backhanded Thor so hard that he was sent flying several blocks away from him, and he fought evenly with World War Hulk. He's also speed blitzed Cyclops and fought evenly with Conquest, who was fast enough to tag Quicksilver. He's restrained Captain Universe for a short time. He's so tough that not even Thor's ultimate attack, the God Blast, can phase him. Mind you, this is an attack that even Galactus fears. Really impressive considering that regular Thor is powerful enough to destroy a universe bigger than our own 2 million times over. It is worth mentioning, however, this was a weaker Thor, so Juggernaut probably won't scale higher than Galactus in terms of durability, but it is still very impressive nonetheless. And since Juggernaut has fought evenly with both Thor and World War Hulk, that means he can scale to them, meaning that he can scale to the over 2 million times larger universal feat, and also Ares being able to move within plank time, making him both super fast and super strong. How fast, you may ask? It's not that big a deal. It's about 20 duodecillions times faster than light. And not only that, but thanks to the magic of Sidorak, Juggernaut doesn't need to eat, sleep, or even breathe. He can go on for weeks without need of oxygen or any form of sustenance. And as I said earlier, Kane's healing factor is so insane that even after being reduced to a skeleton, he was still able to keep going. And not only that, but his helmet also provides a resistance to any and all forms of mental attacks. That means no mind reading, no mind wiping, no mind controlling, and so on and so forth. He's even tanked Darkseid's Omega Beams. Darkseid's Omega Beams. Beams that are capable of erasing damn near anyone from existence. Damn, that shield is busted. If Darkseid can't even crack it open, then who can? Granted, the canonicity of this feat is questionable, but I'm going to include it anyway because I did the same thing for Nux for the spawn feat, so it's only fair that I do the same for Juggernaut. And it's also just funny. He's pummeled King Hyperion and even the incredible Savage Hulk. And this is a Hulk who has taken hits from Zeus, no problem. He's knocked down the Stranger of being on par with Galactus and even survived a blast from him. But all of this is just fodder compared to his power when he becomes Trion Juggernaut. As Trion Juggernaut, Kane is capable of punching through the fabric of space-time with ease, and has even fought an extra-dimensional beast. Yeah. And y'all thought Juggernaut was just a guy who just ran forward and hit things. Nah, he's a multiversal level being who will destroy you if you look at him funny. But despite all of this, Juggernaut is somehow still human. While incredibly powerful and experienced, Juggernaut is still susceptible to being possessed. Not only that, but strong enough magic is capable of breaking through his impenetrable force field. Also, Juggernaut's use of his powers are monitored by Sidorak. If he does something Sidorak doesn't approve of, the power of the gem will be rendered effectively useless, making Kane a regular human again with a mere fraction of his power. And given that both Kane and Sidorak hate each other, it won't be hard for Sidorak to just disable his powers at any moment. And despite Kane's incredible healing factor, he has been killed before via decapitation. But this was from Sidorak, who had control of Juggernaut's powers, so yeah, take of that what you will. Finally, removing his helmet also removes his force field as well, making him killable, but it is incredibly hard to remove, so good luck trying. But even with all these weaknesses, Juggernaut is still a force to be reckoned with. No matter how fast you run or how hard you try, Kane Marco will always be unstoppable.
You want to know who I am?
So with all this information out of the way, who do I think takes the win in this death battle that may happen, kinda, sorta, maybe, hopefully? Well, let's look at the facts. For strength, it is a clear win for Juggernaut. Knuckles is capable of lifting up an entire power plant all by himself, but Juggernaut can lift up an entire skyscraper and contend with beings like World War Hulk, making his physical attacks much stronger than Knuckles's. For speed, I think it is obvious that Knuckles takes it. Sure, Juggernaut scaling to Thor, allowing him to move over 20 duodecillion times the speed of light is impressive. It would put him at massively faster than light plus speeds. But it comes nowhere near to base Sonic as Sonic Man running through stopped time. As in, time was frozen, and Sonic was still moving through his sheer speed alone. And that was base Sonic. As Super Sonic, he's way faster than base Sonic, and Hyper Knuckles directly scales to Super Sonic. For durability, it's a difficult choice, as both of them are basically invulnerable. But Knuckles' invulnerability is limited by how much energy he uses, while Juggernaut's is basically infinite unless you remove his helmet. Not to mention, Chaos Knuckles loses the invulnerability that Hyper Knuckles has, so Juggernaut takes the W in this category. For hacks, it's gonna go to Knuckles. Knuckles has way more hacks than Juggernaut. Like, so many more hacks. Like, it's not even funny. He just has a shit ton of hacks. It's crazy. He out-hacks his Juggernaut to hell and back. For IQ, I've already gone into depth for how Knuckles is smart enough to be doing college-level maths when he was just a toddler, but I haven't gone into Juggernaut's IQ. Frankly, he doesn't need it. A really smart Juggernaut would still be Juggernaut. He's no mindless brute, by no means, but compared to Knuckles, he isn't as smart as him, so I'll give it to Knux. For battle IQ, I'd say it's fairly equal. Nothing really more to say on this. They've both been in their fair share of fights, so I'll just give them both a point here. For experience, Juggernaut definitely takes this. He's a lot older, and even when depowered and fighting another Juggernaut, he managed to hold his own based on his experience alone. For attack potency, I feel like I need to clarify for those who aren't as well versed in power scaling and may confuse AP with physical strength. They are not the same thing. They are two completely separate things. Physical strength is for what you can do physically, while attack potency is how much power you can output. Think of it like this. Hulk and Thor are both pretty strong. But Hulk could beat Thor in an arm wrestling contest any day of the week, while Thor could probably destroy more of a city block with his powers. Anyway, with that all out of the way, it's hard to say, but I think for attack potency, while they are fairly equal, I'd give it to Knuckles. Juggernaut punching a hole through the fabric of space-time is super impressive, and he scales to the 2 million times large universal feat that Thor can do. But Knuckles scaling to Archie Sonic rewriting his infinite multiverse as well as the extra-dimensional Chaos Force and Pocket Zones, which are confirmed to be alternate dimensions, and even a multiverse with Spawn is way more impressive. Also, Juggernaut doesn't scale to Skyfathers like Odin or Galactus. Whoever said that, just no, that's not right. Overall, while Juggernaut takes strength, durability, experience, and matches Knuckles in battle IQ, Knuckles has everything he needs to put a stop to the unstoppable Juggernaut. For starters, Knuckles is way faster. Remember, he can outspeed base Archie Sonic, who can run through stopped time, and Archie Sonic is faster in his super form, which Knuckles can scale to via his Hyper Knuckles form, putting him at immeasurable speeds. Whew! With that much of a speed gap, massively faster than light to plus versus immeasurable, there is no way in hell Kane is ever landing so much as a lucky punch on Knux. Knux's intelligence would also theoretically allow him to discern any weaknesses that Juggernaut may have. Not only that, but Knux's control over chaos energy and other hacks should allow him to just straight up negate Juggernaut's greatest attribute, that shield of his. Knuckles has several ways of getting past it, whether it be phasing right through it, which to my knowledge it has no resistance to, please correct me if I'm wrong, possessing Juggernaut, which he has also shown no resistance to, ripping him apart molecule by molecule. Despite Juggernaut's insane regeneration, it has shown its limits, like when he was decapitated and straight up died. Or just pulling a Hal Jordan going back in time before Kane ever got his hands on the Crimson Gem of Sidorak, because Juggernaut has never time-traveled before by himself, go figure. And despite Juggernaut surviving a blast from Darkseid's Omega Beams, meaning that the existence erasure would do nothing to him, no, I'm not making that up, Juggernaut has never survived being destroyed at the conceptual level. And Chaos Energy, whether it be a blast or a more complicated technique like Chaos Control, can actually destroy concepts themselves, meaning that if Knuckles wanted to, he could destroy Juggernaut at the conceptual level. Now, I'm certain Juggernaut could win against Knuckles a few times, but if we were to run this debate 100 times over, more often than not, Knuckles would take the victory. So, in the words of a wise shotgun-legged man, it looks like Juggernaut got served that Knuckles sandwich cold. So, before I finish off, I would like to address some questions that you all may have from this video. So, number 1. Darkseid's Omega Beams have also erased beings at a conceptual level before. So, wouldn't Kain have a resistance to conceptual manipulation, thus rendering one of Nux's main win cons moot? Yes and no. Darkseid's Omega Beams have erased beings at a conceptual level before, but from what people have told me, he has the ability to turn the conceptual manipulation on his Omega Beams on and off. So we really don't know if Kain actually survived the conceptual manipulation or if it was just an Omega Beam without conceptual manipulation. Number 2. Spawn is part of a multiverse with other Image Comics franchise like Invincible, and Invincible has crossed over with Marvel before, so shouldn't Archie Sonic and by extension Archie Knuckles be able to rewrite the Archie Sonic multiverse, the Image Comics multiverse, and the Marvel universe? Absolutely not. As far as I know, the Invincible/Spider-Man crossover isn't canon at all. Meaning, at max, you can say that Knuckles can rewrite the Archie Sonic multiverse and all the extra-dimensional things outside, like the Chaos Force, Pocket Zones, Mega Man's Infinite Universe, and finally, the Spawn universe, which is part of a multiverse with Image Comics' other IPs. But I would say that rewriting Spawn's universe would be the limit. Number 3. Couldn't Sidorak give Juggernaut 100% of his power, thus making Juggernaut equal to Sidorak, allowing him to beat Knuckles? This is a tricky one, and it actually was asked on my last video on this topic. So, let me just say here, yes, Sidorak could give Juggernaut 100% of his power, meaning that he would basically surpass Knuckles in every category, giving him the win. If not for one teensy-weensy itty-witty whittle problem. Sidorak fucking hates Kain and vice versa. The only reason Sidorak keeps him around is because he gets nourishment from him. So, yeah. That would be a solid no. Anyway, with all that out of the way, I would like to say thank you so much for watching this video. As I said before, this is a remastered version of my other Nux vs. Juggernaut video, and honestly, I think this might be my favorite video ever made. It was honestly super fun researching both of these characters and putting the video together. I honestly hope I can do more of these types of videos in the future. Hell, I might even try remaking my old Second Coming video. That one was fun to make. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more fun videos just like this, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. If you liked this video, I'm glad you liked it. If you didn't like this video, please don't kill me. It's just a video on the internet. No need to hurt me over it. Anyway, I will see you later, boys. Oh, and before I forget, all the stuff, like all the footage, the gameplay footage, and the music used in this video, will be linked in the description below, so you guys can go watch it for yourselves or listen to it for yourselves. So yeah, bye.